Today we are going to speak on hydroelectrical power plant. This is first video on hydroelectrical power plant. So hydropower plant, just animated diagram you can see. One more diagram. So this is the hydel power plant. See here the dam is there, constructed between two hill stations, and water at the back end is stored, and that can be passed through the penstocks to the turbines to generate the electricity. So the hydroelectrical or hydel power plants generate power using the potential energy of a water available on the earth surface. So basically what is potential energy? mgh. So mass into gravity into height. So mass of the water may be constant flow of water we can maintain. Gravity of acceleration due to gravity is 9.1, it is constant. So if as the height increases, potential energy is going to increase. So that heighter area we need to choose for generating the hydel power or a hydroelectrical power. The rainwater collected at different altitudes on the earth's surface has a potential energy with respect to level of the oceans towards which water flows. The energy of the rainwater is utilized to drive the hydraulic turbines and in turn to run electrical generators and produce electrical energy. The hydel power developed depends upon the head of the water and quantity of natural rainfall. So it is again a variable and seasonal one. In the summer season, if you don't have rains, the water quantity will be reduced. So potential energy is going to reduce, and generation of electricity will be very low. So based on the availability of rainfall, that is quantity of natural rainfall, and at what head it is available, that is important from the generation of electrical energy from the available water. So reservoirs are constructed to collect the natural rain and use to generate throughout the year. Thus the reservoir area, which is a measure of water collected, and the height of the dam, which in turn measure of head of water. However, the quantity of water available depends upon the hydrological cycle and the total rainfall received by the area in which power plant is located. So we'll see the hydrological cycle. Hydrology is the science that deals with the rainfall and runoff. Water is evaporated from the ocean, rivers, plants, and other surfaces of the earth, and the vapor are carried up in the sky to form clouds. When the vapors in the form of clouds are cooled to the temperature below the dew point, it falls down to the earth in the form of rain or snow. So this is the hydrological cycle. So this we have studied in our this one schools also. So the evaporation it is from the oceans or runoffs or groundwater, everything it forms the clouds and rains are happening. So this is the cycle, it repeats again and again. So hydrographs. So what is hydrograph? It is a graph representing discharge of flowing water with respect to time for a specific period. Means with respect to time means time may be in terms of hour, day, week or a month. Suppose in this week for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like that, on which day how much discharge of water is available, that graph is called as hydrograph. In the month of January, how much rainfall, February, March, April, May till December we can measure and it can be represented through a graph, and that can be used to develop a hydroelectrical plant based on the requirement. Discharge may be in the form of meter cube per second, kilometer square second per hour, or day second meter. Discharge hydrographs are known as flood or runoff hydrographs. Figure shows a typical hydrograph discharge or discharge curve based on the daily, monthly or year. So hydrographs in terms of time, months and years you can see here. So highest one is called as flood day. So based on these floods, highest in this month, this may be some month, X month is a flood month. Highest rainfall in this year, it is a flood year. So based on the x-axis we have time, days, months and years. In the y-axis it is in terms of discharge. So these hydrographs can be used for our detailed analysis for installation of hydroelectrical power. So use of hydrographs. The hydrographs is useful to determine a number of parameters such as rate of flow at an instant during specific recorded period, total volume of flow in a given period, as the area under the hydrograph represents the volume of water during that duration. Right. So this is the rate of flow and total volume can be measured through the annual runoff, means for that year how much rainfall is recorded, maximum and minimum runoff for a selected period, in which month we have maximum rainfall, which month we have minimum rainfall, maximum rate of rainfall during the floods and during the frequency of floods. So that can also be noted. So one more is unit hydrograph. Unit hydrograph with a volume of 1 centimeter cube runoff resulting from a rainfall fall of specified duration and a real pattern which is constructed using the hydrograph data. So unit hydrograph is what? Using previously whatever we have drawn hydrograph with that only we can draw the unit hydrograph. See, now that is percentage. So runoff we can have on y-axis and percentage 10%, 20%, 30%, about 80%. So we can measure 2500 cubic meter per second is how much percentage for that year or for that period. That is only 5% you can see. So average flow is 1100. So I can consider average this approximately 1100 cubic meter per second. That is for around 50% it is available throughout the year. So that is what data we can get from the unit hydrograph. So thus by flow duration curve it is possible to estimate the total power available at that site. So you can also directly calculate the total available. One more is flow duration curve also, that is called, we can calculate. The flow duration curve can be used to determine the minimum and maximum conditions of flow of the water. If the magnitude of the ordinate is estimated power content in the stream flow against the corresponding percentage of time on the abscissa, then the curve is known as power duration curve. So mass curve, we'll see what is mass curve. A graph representing the cumulative values of water against time is termed as mass curve. That is quantity against time is termed as mass curve. The reservoir is the means of storing water that is available during the rainfall from the catchment area. A mass curve is a convenient method of determining the storage requirement of a reservoir so as to obtain the satisfactory flow from the fluctuating discharge of the river. Typical mass curve we can see. Mass curve is an integral curve, right? Mass curve is an integral curve of the hydrograph that represents the area under the hydrograph from one time to another. Mathematically it is given as integration of the quantity T1 to T2 with respect to time. V is the volume of runoff, Q1 is the discharge in meter cube per second as a function of time. Selection of idle power plant. So how selection of the idle power plant is done? So how we have done for the thermal power station, like that only, it has its own requirements. So there first one was availability of fuel. Here fuel itself is water. So availability of water, storage of water, head of water, groundwater data, distance from the load center. So all are the basic requirements. Basically we require water, storage capacity we need. So it should be available at certain head to increase to have a potential energy. Groundwater data means if water is stored, that should sustain for longer period. It should not have a seepage or a transmission problem so that it enters the underground and no water is there on the ground. So that's such groundwater ground we are not in requirement. So it should be very near to the load center. Storage of water. The site selected should have good storage capacity sufficient enough to use for a full year. This depends upon the reservoir capacity and catchment area. It is intended to store water enough to use even during dry periods. So, what is major requirement? Not during the season. During dry periods, the storage water plays an important role to generate the energy. So, head of water, I said KPE is equal to mgh. What I have said, it is written here, mgh neta divided by 1000. So head of water is the highest level of water flows down to the power generation. Higher the head available, lesser the quantity of water required for known power output, hence lesser is the storage requirement. So power generated depends mainly on the head of water available, which is shown in this relation. So here mass of m is equal to discharge or a rate of water flow, h is head of water, g is acceleration due to gravity, efficiency of the prime mover or the generator. So hence site selection should have a highest head of water. Next is groundwater data I was discussing. It is an important factor to be considered since it decides the stability of ground at the reservoir and dam construction area. It is essential to select a site which has a lesser groundwater movement. So I was talking about groundwater. As it provides a solid reservoir base and CPAs will be minimum. A strong reservoir base also helps in reducing foundation costs for the dam construction. Distance from the load center. So it is always essential that the site selected should be nearer as possible to load center. Increased distance increases the power transmission cost and higher transmission losses. Other factors to be considered: the easy accessibility to the site, road or a rail. So transportation is important. Cheap cost of land should be available. Availability of non-polluted water for the power generation. Advantages of idle power plants. Operating cost of the plant including the auxiliaries is low. Maintenance of the plant is comparatively less. Less labors are required. No nuisance of smoke, exhaust gas or soot or other pollution. Usually away from the developed areas, hence land is very cheap. Load fluctuations can be met rapidly without loss of efficiency. No standby losses. No fuel is used. Disadvantages: initial cost of the plants like cost of land, dam, machineries, etc. is very high. Feasibility depends mainly on the availability of water. So natural phenomena of rain, thus problems of stopping the plant may arise during the dry seasons. Usually sites will be away from the load centers, so power transmission losses are there. It takes considerably long time for its erection as compared to the erection of thermal plants. Thank you.